everyone for joining us on today's presentation. So this So these free online lessons are being streamed on the Facebook, so you can also go view them on the Facebook if you like to. Okay, so for today, we're going to see on one of the cloud solutions. We call it BIM Collaborate Pro or BIM Collaborate. What we're going to see specifically for today, the function is that we can do the clashes checking with this BIM Collaborate. But before that, welcome Hilman, welcome Hidayah, welcome Amin, Francis, Firdaus, Najib, Akif, Amin here. I think we have Mr. Peter, Rosland, Haikal, CCW, NSG. Welcome everyone. All right, so let's get started for today. Okay, so the reason why doing this clash detection on the BIM Collaborate Pro is very easy is that one of them is that you can automate them. You can group those clashes by the object, and then you can also assign those clashes to the responsible individual. And then after that, you can open back inside the Revit or Navisworks to view back those clashes. Okay. So what we're going to see today is how we're going to get started on this workflow for the BIM Collaborate on the clash coordination here. So what I want to do first is that I'm going to go and open on my cloud platform here. Right, welcome Architect KDIKL. So this is the BIM Collaborate Pro here is the subscription base, is according to the user. For each one user get one license. So over here, after we get started on this BIM on the project on the cloud, we get started them first. And then for each one of those project team member, in order for them to be able to use that clash tool, is that they need to have this function being able, the model coordination being turned on for them, and then them being assigned to them in order for them to work on that. And after that, all right, so we're going to go for over here. After that, after you have turned on the model coordination for them, you just go to this document management where we upload all those documents that we want to do for the clashes. So for instance, here I have created the subfolder for the chat, so that it's easier for all the other from the other project team member that you have collaborate for this Revit file or DWG that you want to do the coordination. So you can do that under the chat folder, and then you create for each one of them the subfolder, and then you can upload those files directly from your desktop, or you can also open the software, either the Revit, where you open your model, and then you can just go to the file and click save to the cloud model. So there is a two option on how you want to upload your Revit or your DWG file into the cloud platform, so that you can start working on the clashes. After we have setting up here the coordination spaces, the document here, what we're going to do next is that we can go to on the top here, you can find the model coordination tool. So this is where you are going to work mostly on the clashes. So over here, this model coordination here, you can see that it also comes with the design collaboration. So model coordination, also design collaboration, both of them under the BIM Collaborate. So you can access it if you have the BIM Collaborate. Okay, so over here under the model coordination, I have the model spaces here, the clashes, where we can see all those clashes. The model spaces here, if you want to see the combination of all your other trade model. So if you have the architecture model and then you have the structure model, so you want to combine them, you don't necessarily to have combine them inside the Revit. So you can decrease those sizes inside the Revit file by seeing combination of two straight inside this cloud instead of. All right, welcome Izati. All right, so we're going to mostly look at these clashes. So before we get started, what we want to do is that we have to go to this setting, because we have to set up first the coordination spaces. So this over here, the coordination spaces define the model that you want to create for the clashes. And then you can give, you can select which one folder, which one model that you're going to be working on that coordination spaces. So treat the coordination spaces as your team working spaces. So you can set up as much as you want to. So for instance, here, if I want to create the coordination spaces between one of the team here, so I just click on the create coordination spaces just now. Hi everyone, we just get started on creating the coordination spaces now. All right, so let me just repeat. The coordination spaces is just working spaces for a clash detection. All right, so I just named this coordination 2, and then you can toggle over here for which one folder that you want to add the model, that you want to get access on that model. For instance, I have here coordination 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just rename this 4 to match with this model that I want to use from this coordination form document. All right, and then after that we can create. So just now you see all for each one of those folder, we're setting up that first inside the docs just now. And then we upload those model, and then here we just setting up the working spaces. All right, after we have a complete setting up the working spaces, all right, you can go to the model to toggle and access the model. All right, welcome everyone. We just get started now for clashes. All right, so under here, you can see that this is the coordination spaces that we have done just now. So you have to change that if you want to work at the different working spaces. So over here, I'm going to go for coordination folder I have created just now. Okay, and then you can see that this is the model that I have uploaded to this folder inside the docs just now. Right, so I have these all different trick of work. So for under the model here, this is where you can select which one that you want to see them as an aggregated model, meaning that we combine them together, and then we see that how it was linked to each other. So I click on the view to see between the architecture, mechanical, and also plumbing. Right, so I can see that over here. It's not. Just all right, so that is over here, you can see those model, and then after that, you can go to clashes on this side over here. All right, so this on these clashes over here, you can see that the primary model, you can set up the primary model, which one model that will be the primary one, and then after that, you can select which one between this primary model, what kind of these clashes between that they are going to have within the other model, or you can also select one only or both of them between architecture and also plumbing, or just one of them, just click on apply, and then that will create the coordination clashes over here, checking the clashes if there is any inside this model. And then another one here, for primary model, right? So I'm just going to toggle to one of these clashes, the duct insulation over here. All right, welcome everyone. We just get started on these clashes. Right, so you can see that under this duct insulation, the color with the color red over here that has been highlighted by the red color. The primary model will be highlighted with the red color. The secondary model, it will be highlighted with the green color. So you can see that it's easier for you to define which one is that. And then under this duct insulation, if I want to see a further more detail, what kind of clashes is that between this duct and then with the other model here, with the architecture model, is that they have clashes with the facade wall over here. All right, so you can see, you can click on that for each one of that, and then it will zoom in and zoom out to that view for you. All right, so you can see that I can also select specify over here, one by one. All right, so there is currently I have 29 clashes. This is for the hard clashes. If you want to do the soft clashes, you can also put in the tolerance distance over here. So let's say that you need some buffer spaces between the AHU. So you can just put in the tolerance distance like in this one. Another one here is that you can view the clashes according to the object. So this is we are viewing them according to the object that we model inside the Revit. You can also change to view them according to their system. Okay, so there is a hydraulic system supply. So if you have been working inside Revit, so you know that how Revit system works with that we can define for each one of them, the return air, the supply air, and if there is for piping, sanitary, and also the supply water. So there's also the type name. So this is according to the family type name, if you still remember. So this will be quite similar to the object, only that it will group much more, narrow down all those objects and then group them into a larger group. If you can see that over here, for each one of them, they have much more clashes. All right, welcome down, welcome back in. Let me know if you have any question. I might just go a bit too fast over here. All right, so if I go back here to the object, all right, so what you can do with these clashes, just now I mentioned that we can assign to the issue, and then we can view back inside the Revit to make some changes to make for those issues. So for instance here, if I want to select on this issue for these clashes, and I just click on that, and I click on the create issue. Yep, sorry, let me just slow down a bit. If I'm too fast, just let me know. Okay, so for instance here, just now we see that this there is a, let me just zoom in a bit so that you can see. All right. Okay, so there is a clashes there. You can see that the clashes between the duct insulation might be better if we could zoom in a bit. So there is a clashes between the duct insulation here with this wall. So we want to assign this as an issue. All right, so you can just click on this, okay, and I can click on the create issue, and I can push point to which of that issue it happens with. Okay, just now over here or over here. Okay, to that element, specific element inside this Revit model, so that it's easier when we go back to Revit. It can go direct to that component. So you can see that over here, the issue has been assigned to these clashes. The important one is actually over here. It have this ID number. So this ID number is what, whenever you open back the Revit is going to read this ID number to find that the same element inside the Revit software. Okay, and then what you can do with this issue is that we can assign to the individual that need to resolve this issue. So let's say that from here, I'm just going to assign to an engineer over here. And then you definitely can put in the reference if there is, let's say that the clashes is also involved with the site images. So you can just toggle in and then put in the images from here. Okay. Otherwise, after that, I just click on close over here. Okay. You can also assign for all of these and then create an issue. There is no problem on grouping them and create at one issue for all of these. All right. Let me just close this one first. Okay. Just now we do so see directly from the model. Over here as well, if I go to the clashes here. Okay. So if you see that this is there is a vertical for the primary model. Just now we see that primary model is being colored with the red, and then this is clashes with the secondary model. So for each one, for instance, between electrical project and then also with the mechanical model, there is two clashes over here between structure and also architecture model. There is 368 over here. So you can review them by just clicking on this number. Okay, so for instance, if I just want to view between this architecture and structure, I just click on that number, and then you can see that over here. Okay, so you will come. Okay, so just now after we have all right, so after we have assigned to that clashes to the individual, you can track them under this assigned. All right, so you can see that all the assigned issue, all the assigned clashes that have been given to the person from here, you can easily track from that. Or if let's say that this issue has been resolved, after that, they can open this. The project admin is going to open this, and then after that they can close this issue by using this status, and then just close them. Or they can also choose if it is in a review or in a pending status. And after that, all the close issue can also be tracked from this close button. All right. So that is inside this BIM Collaborate Pro. Just as now I mentioned, it has automate those clashes for you. So you don't have to click run tasks, that will take a lot of time. You just go upload your model, and then the BIM Collaborate Pro will read if there is any issue. And directly from here, if I go to model back, you can also see that this is the number that they have decided there is a clashes. And it also is easier for you to actually have between filter down them. If let's say that you have filtered them, if you have those models from the different company uploaded by the different contributors, so you can easily defilter them out from here. All right. So now what I'm going to see is that what I'm going to show is that how we can change them and then fix them inside the Revit model. Okay, for that one, if you need to use this inside the Revit model, we have the issue admin. So you can see that on the top here, where I have the issues. So this is not directly available inside Revit. You have to update first. This is completely free. Just before you can use this button admin, you have to update your Revit. It's only available within Revit 2020 and above. So if you are using lower, do consider to upgrade your version to Revit. And then after you have installed directly from the manage to Autodesk, you can find this. And after that, if you needed those just now, you can just click on the manage issue over here. All right. So you can see that all the issue will be shown over here if there is any issue. Okay, and then I can easily, if I go back just now, I can easily go click on that, and then it will open the reference view that is easy for me to see. And then, but before you do this, just let me go back slightly bit. Is that I have to ensure I open this Revit model from the file. When I go to open, I have to open from the cloud, not the desktop model. So I have to go to the open from my computer, and then I have the Autodesk docs. This Autodesk docs is, you can have them connected with your desktop by using the Autodesk desktop connector. Right, I go to Autodesk docs here, and I go to acadsystems, my company profile here. To my project where I have saved all those shared coordination model from the cloud. So you need to open your cloud model in order for you to conduct that, to have those issues being shown over here. Let me just move. That's now one of the clashes here. So these clashes is between the mechanical project and also architecture. So I'm going to open now mechanical project. So I click on that and I open. All right, welcome to Joyce. Welcome to who just joined us. Sorry, is there any question? Okay, so whenever you open the new project, so for instance, here I have my plumbing project being opened, my mechanical project being opened. So for each one of them, you have to refresh first on this issue so that they will load the issue that according to that model. So for instance, this one I have some requirement to change. For mechanical just now that we have done the clashes. That is, if I reload back, refresh, the duct installation clashes with the wall over here. So I can toggle and I'll click on that to see which one, and then I can change them directly from the Revit. And then after that, definitely we can close directly from the Revit itself if we have already completed them. But definitely that in order for us to do that, just now I mentioned again, you have to have two things. First is that you have to install the issues. You just have to update. There's no, that it doesn't require lots of storage for this issue, and don't worry about that. Another one is that you have to access the cloud model. You cannot go for the desktop model. Model that you have upload and also assign the issue inside this cloud platform. That is the model that you want to open from the Revit to view the issue over here that have. So for instance, if I go back to my clashes, and I just want to show, if I go back to my clashes over here, okay, the clashes that we have from the active here. Okay, just now from my model between the mechanical and also architecture, view them to see all those clashes. All right, so I go back to clashes here. So let's say that for all of these, I'm going to create an issue. All right, so I'm just going to specify any of that. All right, done. There's a lot of issue there, 28 issue. Okay, if I go back to clashes and then under the assign here, right, so that is 28 clashes has been assigned. Okay, if I go back to Revit model and I click on the refresh here, there's some issues. We go back and check on here. This is from the mechanical. All right, welcome Sophia. Welcome Faisal. We are now doing the issue inside this cloud platform. Okay, because sometimes it will take time for the lot of issue. Let me just quickly assign a very quick one issue over here. Create an issue. Let me just go back to my model for the mechanical here. Welcome everyone. Okay, I think I'm going to toggle back to plumbing so that between architecture and also plumbing over here, and then go back to the view. Okay, between clashes, so I'm just going to create one of them here, for instance. Okay, this is a clashes between the wall with the pipe here. So I'm just going to create an issue again. Okay, and then assign to my own self here. Then close back here and then go back to Revit model. From my here, where I have a plumbing project. I hope this time it will load. There is some issue over here, but it might be because of my internet. But otherwise, if you want to reflect them back the issue, that is what you have to done inside this. You have to have the issue, and then after that, we can go to the manage here. And then each time we have created the new issue, we're going to reload that back and then see them back reflect on this over here. All right. I think that is for clashes here. Let me just quickly recap is that under the collaboration coordination clashes on this cloud platform, firstly is that you have to go to your member and ensure that you turn on for the model coordination for them. And then after that, after you have to do that, you can ensure that you can access the model coordination from this on the top here. And then we have to create the coordination spaces in order for them to work with. All right, so for each one of these coordination spaces, so let's say that you have complete with this project coordination, you can deactivate them anytime. All right, so don't worry about that. You just can create as many coordination spaces that you want. So you can select for here, just now I mentioned coordination spaces, name them, and then toggle to the specific folder for the reflected folder here. All right, and after that you can go to model, and then from the model you can change, you can see that your coordination space is on the top here. All right, so you can always change to the different coordination spaces. Okay, and then after that, from these coordination spaces, you can see your model. What you can do is that first one is just now you can view them as a combined model. So if you have a different trick, you can view them back as a combined model. Another one is that you can also automate creating the clashes by going to these clashes, and there is a clashes naming here, and from that clashes we can create the issue so that the respective person we can have that issue, and then they can resolve those issues. And after that, the last one is things that you can go back to the Revit to view them, and then you can have under the issue tab here. You can always relook back and then see if there is any issue have been assigned to you. Okay, I think that's pretty much for today. I'm just going to open for if there is any question. Nevis will also have clashes, and Autodesk docs clashes look more useful. Can Autodesk docs come up on the clashes report? So for clashes report, all right, let me just go close here. Is that over here we have report. Okay, and then you can create those report from here for all those issues that we have created the clashes just now. So you can from the clashes that we have, we are going to assign to the issue, and from that you can create the issue, and you can have them downloaded in the PDF file. You can sort them up according to the timeline here, status, assigned date or due date. And after that, you can just click on the run report in order for you to download this report. Okay. This model coordination function is only available in specific release of system BIM 360 like BIM 360 Collaborate. Yes, this is available in BIM Collaborate. BIM 360 Collaborate is the previous BIM 360 Collaborate is the previous one. Now Autodesk has upgraded them into the BIM Collaborate. So we no longer call them BIM 360 Collaborate, we call them BIM Collaborate. Autodesk come with AEC. Yes, Autodesk you can access them either within the AEC collection. So if you have AEC collection, you can always access them if you go to your manage.autodesk, and then you can open your docs. From there, you can access these docs for using the design collaboration and also model coordination, that one where you need the BIM Collaborate. All right. Will the BIM Collaborate be updated to BIM Collaborate by default if a previous project already hosted in BIM Collaborate? All right, so BIM 360 Collaborate, by default, if in the year for your next renewal, because it's renewed by annual, you can ask us to go for upgradation for the BIM Collaborate. And after that, for that BIM Collaborate, you can still working on your project, BIM 360 project, because just now when we do the BIM Collaborate over here, this is under Autodesk Construction Cloud. The BIM 360 platform is also Autodesk platform, but it is the previous one, but it's still working. Don't worry about that. It's just that this one, Autodesk Construction Cloud, is the new one. And then if you already have those projects inside the BIM 360, you can still working on that project in the BIM 360. There are just two platforms here, but you can still definitely working them with one BIM Collaborate. So that's why we don't call them no longer BIM 360 Collaborate. We call them BIM Collaborate because you can access them on the BIM 360 platform. And also you can access them on the ACC platform. So you can see that over here, this is the icon for ACC. And then for this, this is the BIM 360 platform. Will there be clashes if interdisciplinary consultant and modeler are using BIM 360 Collaborate and BIM Collaborate, as different disciplines have different variants? if your consultant using BIM 360 Collaborate. All right, so there is only one restriction here if your consultant is using BIM 360 Collaborate. Previously, actually, the BIM 360 Collaborate is named as a BIM 360 design. Okay, if your consultant working on the BIM 360 design, they can only access from the BIM 360 project. So if your company are working on the ACC project with the BIM Collaborate, your consultant we cannot access from ACC. That is the only limitation. But otherwise, if both of you are working on the BIM 360 docs platform here, on the BIM 360 platform, there will be no issue. Is there any more question on top of that? I think that we are already 360 over here. But otherwise, definitely that how to get the issue plugin again. All right, for that one, you can go to your manage Autodesk here and go to the product update, and then find on the Revit issue add-in. There is a two. Currently, there's only two add-in for the issue that has been supported either from the Revit or on the Navisworks. On the AutoCAD, it is under the planning. Is it coming soon? So don't worry about that. You are going to get access to that too in the future. So over here, if for your issue add-in, either from the manage to Autodesk, you can search for the product updates because I already installed them. So I can no longer see that. But otherwise, another one is that directly from your desktop, you can go to Autodesk desktop apps and then go to your Revit. There's supposed to be issue add-in. So over here, I don't have that, but just now I mentioned, let me just name it. You can find them. Let me find, I don't think I have this, but let me just go over here, issue add-in over here. So you can find that there is the Revit issue add-in update on your either desktop apps or manage to Autodesk over here. It's completely free, don't worry about that. So I have another one. So everyone needs to upgrade their subscription at the same time if they want to migrate the project from BIM 360 to BIM Collaborate. Or we can't do that. Yeah, you cannot migrate your project from BIM 360 to ACC platform, from the BIM 360 to ACC. What you can do instead of you setting up the new project inside the ACC platform, and then you start working on that BIM ACC platform instead of BIM 360. Will the Revit issue add-in works in the BIM 360? Yes, it works in the BIM 360 as well. So over here just now, if I go back to my Revit, because this issue add-in is previously on the BIM 360 platform, so it's definitely support the BIM 360 platform. You don't have to worry about that. Otherwise, it's currently the upgraded one that now we can also access them on the ACC, Autodesk Construction Cloud as well. All right. So if there is any issue on you, let's say that you cannot access this project, feel free to reach out to me, and then I can try to arrange a session where I can see what happened is that. But otherwise, if you have any issue accessing the Revit issue add-in or Navisworks issue add-in, just feel free to reach out to me. I'm just going to paste on my email address. You can also go to our website here. I'm going to go acadsystems website. And then under the help desk here, we have the help desk. And then you can also create the issue here, or you can also reach out to us on the chat bar. If my consultant is using Revit Alti, can they access to Autodesk docs? Yes, they can access the Autodesk docs from the Revit Alti as well. All right. The only one is that they need to also install the Autodesk desktop connector. All right, so that is another one that, for us to open the cloud with the BIM Collaborate. Over here, you see that I have Autodesk docs. This is being able access by installing the Autodesk desktop connector. So again, this is completely free. So I'm just going to paste this desktop connector into the chat bar if you want to install them. Otherwise, again, if you need help on us to install them, feel free to reach out us on the help desk. All right, so I think that's pretty much for today. Let me see. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us on today's free online lesson. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, I'm going to let everyone go for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's free online lesson.